The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to Speaking with the Senator. I'm Senator KEvin Avard, and today we're going to be talking about politics and a local race that is going on with the Registry of Deeds. And my guest today is Edward J. Sapienza. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Kevin.
All right. So, Registry of Deeds is a very, very exciting, very exciting topic. We know that somebody is retiring.
Yeah, Pam Coughlin, the incumbent, is retiring after 5 terms. That's 10 years of service. And we thank Pam for her years of service to Hillsborough County.
Yeah. So actually, she's been on our shows earlier, a few years back. We haven't seen her for a while, but I'm sure she's been busy. And so you're running for that office. Now, what is Registry of Deeds?
That's a great question, Kevin. And I got to remember that you're KEvin Avard. You're not John Avard. I'm from Manchester. Your cousin John serves on the Board of School Committee in Manchester.
Yeah, and I'm taller.
And you're taller than John. Okay, all right. I hope I'm going to let him know you said that.
That's right.
But yes, you know, it's funny, Kevin, when I, on the campaign trail, quite often I get asked the question, Register of Deeds, huh? Well, what do they do? And my answer to that is, that's a good question. The Register of Deeds registers the deeds. And I don't say that to be a comedian. If you've ever been to a closing on a real estate deal, okay, whether you're buying, selling, maybe refinancing, you sign a lot of documentation, right? Some of that documentation winds up at the Register of Deeds office. If you need a copy of your deed for any reason, okay, and you're not sure where yours is, maybe it's in the filing cabinet downstairs behind whatever, maybe not, you put it somewhere, don't worry too much about it. There's a copy available at the Registry of Deeds office.
So if you pay off your house and your mortgage, can you go get a hard copy of your Registry of Deeds?
You can get a hard copy of your Registry of Deeds whether you pay it off or not.
Okay.
So yeah, and you can have a mortgage burning party if you pay the mortgage off. But
so an interesting fact, I recently just was listening to a commercial, and the commercial said that there's a specific insurance to protect your Registry of Deeds.
Yeah, like when you go to a closing, okay, they have title insurance. Okay, that basically what that is, if someone says, hey, listen, that's my property you just bought, Jack. Sorry, you lose out. And you know, these things do go on. You also have things like right of access disputes and things of that nature. So yes, you can buy title insurance if you want.
This was a little different than title insurance.
Oh, okay.
This had to do with identity theft.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Today's world, identity theft. Yeah. Yep.
Identity theft and people finding out that somehow the title was stolen.
Title was stolen. Yep.
Via the internet or some type of digital scam, and it's now starting to be an issue.
Sure it is.
And some of the people that are victims of this are a lot of your senior age people that
they're not quite as up on the technology.
Right.
And yep. Well, this goes back to the rule of law. You know what I mean? Property rights. I mean, that's what it's all about. Yeah.
So you're from Manchester.
Born and raised in Manchester.
Right?
Yep.
And so you're in this county.
County. You know, the other question I often get on the campaign trail, along with what is Register of Deeds, I also quite often am asked, what is Hillsborough County? Now, in the state of New Hampshire, county does not have as much impact on people's daily lives as, say, if they lived in the South, if they lived in Georgia, if they lived out west, right? But Hillsborough County is one of 10 counties in the state of New Hampshire. Now, what does county do? Okay, well, let's go down the line with it. There's the county jail, where I retired from, okay? There's the county sheriff's office, which is an elected position. County sheriff is an elected position. There's county nursing home, okay? County register of deeds. There's register of probate, which currently has no duties, no responsibilities, no pay, no nothing. But that's an issue for the legislature, okay? A lot of folks in Hillsborough County might remember for several years, Bobby Ravad, register of probate. That's back when it actually
Is that a paying job?
It used to be. Currently, no, those duties have been transferred over to the court,
Okay.
okay? And there's also the county attorney's office.
Dennis Hogan?
Dennis Hogan, yes, which is essentially the district attorney's office. Although in the state of New Hampshire, we don't actually have district attorneys, okay? They're pretty much the same thing, okay? We just don't call them that here in New Hampshire.
Okay.
And Dennis Hogan does a fine job as the county attorney, Hillsborough County. They are the prosecutors now. They're not the defense lawyers, they're the prosecutors. And there's also the county extension office, okay, agriculture, which essentially has been turned over to the university system in New Hampshire. And that's a little bit about county government.
So what are the day-to-day operations of somebody who is in charge of the deeds?
Basically, the Register of Deeds office processes data relating to the buying and selling of real estate.
Now, do you work with the
It's
the public?
It's a full-time position. Okay. It's located in Nashua, okay, and it's open to the public. It's essentially banker's hours, yes. And your job is to make sure that things run smoothly, serve the people.
Now, your background is at the state or
well, okay,
local prison?
A little bit about myself. I'm born and raised in Manchester, okay, graduate of Keene State College. I graduated in December of '89. The recession was just kicking off. I enlisted in the United States Army, did 4 years honorable service, most of it in Germany.
Yep, thank you for your service.
All right, you're welcome. Following my honorable discharge, I came home to Manchester. I was fortunate enough to establish a career for myself at the Hillsborough County Jail. I was a correctional officer, and I also bought, sold, managed, and developed real estate on a small scale, okay? I don't want to exaggerate it, but I did do it. I was a landlord for 12 years. I also bought a couple acres of land across the street from Newfound Lake, and I built a cabin for myself. So I have a little bit of background, a little bit of knowledge in the real estate.
So you know about the Bridgewater Inn?
Yeah, the Bridgewater is right up the street from me. Yeah, it's a nice place.
I used to gig there.
You singing?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a fun place to gig.
Yeah, it's a laid-back place. It's funny you mention that because I like to do karaoke.
Yeah. Do they do karaoke there?
I don't know. I've done it in Manchester. I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah. I've done it in Manchester. We had karaoke night in Manchester.
Sun Jin is the owner of that.
That's great. Yeah. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bridgewater, Newfound Lake is great.
So, are other people running for this?
Yes, it's funny. Okay, I'm running on a Republican ticket. Okay, there's myself, April Kaplan, and Marianne Crowley. I wish them the best of luck. On the Democratic ticket, there is no candidate on the Democratic ticket, which is, I think, a little bit odd, nor for sheriff, by the way. Now, what happened, you have the sign-ups, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody, the sign-up period ends. If nobody signs up, you're probably familiar with this, the party has like a week to find someone.
Right.
So nobody signed up on the Democrat side, and nor did the party find anybody to sign on the dotted line. So there is no Democrat for this or for county sheriff.
I would imagine that. Why would there be Democrat Republican anyway? It seems like to be innocuous to party line.
For this?
Yeah.
Well, people say that about sheriff too. It's just the way. I mean, this goes back hundreds of years. I'm sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What are some issues that people are facing right now with their deeds and?
Access is one. I guess 3 of the counties, not Hillsborough, but 3 of the counties. Somebody approached me about this, asked me this very question. If you're looking online, it should be free. Okay, which I happen to agree with, and I guess some counties are charged.
Looking online for a copy?
Your deed, yeah, okay. That should be free. Hard copy is a nominal fee, but apparently there are 3 counties out there in the state. There's 10 counties that are charging for online access.
And I think that's where the fraud comes in with this commercial. Is people are actually accessing other people's accounts.
Oh yeah.
And stealing it.
Yeah.
Will you have any way of protecting the public, or are you pretty much at their beck and call just to find out the information for them and present it?
I believe in established laws. Having this conversation with someone, the current law says that the people will have the access free online. So if that's the deal, yes, follow the current law.
Right.
And I'm all for any technology, any ways that we can safeguard people's privacy, as well as serving the public. Absolutely.
So you work for the county prison.
I worked for the county jail. Yes,
jail.
I had a career at the Hillsborough County Jail. I worked there for 15 years and 4 months, and then I did another 6 years part-time. So I'm familiar with county government. And I'm very grateful to have had the career at the Hillsborough County Jail. That's another whole story. Correctional officers, they don't get the recognition they deserve, but
Do they have a psychiatric unit there?
they don't have they have a medical unit, and they do have acute psychiatric care, not chronic. I say acute for the simple fact that it's a short-term place.
Okay.
You can't do in-depth psychological care at a county jail because by its very nature, it's a short-term facility.
Right.
Okay, but I don't want to start talking over my head. I
No,
was
I
an
just-
officer, and I'll put that out there. But yeah,
Yeah, I was just curious
Yeah.
because there were some issues that we were dealing with up at the Capitol with the state prison.
Yeah.
And they call it PSU, or the psychiatric unit.
yeah, secured psychiatric units.
Yeah. And
yeah.
we're basically working on trying to find a different solution rather than for the long-term care.
Yep, long term is a different story. Yep.
Yeah, because some people are committed civilly and treated like prisoners, and it's
Well,
not a
yeah,
good
that's
mix.
an ongoing issue. People are upset that the people are being committed to the prison, okay, even though they haven't committed a crime. The deal there is there's currently nowhere else to put them. These
Right.
people can't take care of themselves.
The state needs to come up with a
Right.
solution for
Right.
that, and we need the infrastructure for that, and so
Yeah.
that's just an ongoing conversation. But so you're kind of aware of
Sure.
of
Oh yeah. I
that
mean,
situation.
there's nothing like being there on the line where the pedal hits the metal. I lived, ate, slept, drank, and breathed it for 15 years and 4 months full time, and
Yeah.
then another 6 years part time.
So, yeah, are you married?
I am. I'm married to my lovely wife Andrea. Yeah.
And Andrea is all set for you getting into the political realm,
She doesn't like it,
right?
but she helps me anyways.
Yes. Well, sometimes that's the most important part is making sure that your spouse is on board.
She
with
is
you.
on board. Yeah. I enjoy it. I did the Ed and Joe show in Manchester with Joe Keller-Lavassa for 4 years on Manchester Community TV, and in fact, we had you on once.
Yes, you did.
We talked about your bill.
And you totally mistreated me. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. We had a good time, and I thought it was informative. We talked about it was essentially making it more scrutiny for people to get.
It had to do with the food stamp bill.
Yeah, food
correct.
stamp bill.
And we added basically $9 million to help single parents to get back to work.
To get back to work. Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, taking care of their transportation, childcare, and then making sure that they had some longevity with their current. There was some incentive there,
Right.
and to protect the food stamps so that it wasn't getting abused.
Right. I see that all the time. All the time.
Everybody complains about it. The people that are street smart know about it as well.
That's right.
And so we wanted to make sure that everything is solvent. It's actually helping the people that need it. The people that don't need it are stealing from those that do
Of course
need
they are. And I remember you said you know of what you speak. You when you grew up, you didn't have a silver spoon in your mouth.
No,
in your,
I still don't.
Well, you're making $100 a year as a state senator.
Yeah.
Another thing about county government is a little known factoid. Every state rep in the state of New Hampshire, all 400 of them, are county reps as well, whether they know it or not.
That is correct.
I mean, they have voting authority on contracts.
They set the budget.
So yeah. Now, Hillsborough is the largest county in the state of New Hampshire, people-wise, approximately 400,000 people. It consists of 31 communities. Now, what are those communities? I'll take a stab at it. Manchester and Nashua. Okay, there's half the population, roughly, of Hillsborough County right there. It's also the communities of Hillsborough, Deering, Hollis, Brookline, Merrimack, Milford, Goffstown, Ware, New Boston, Francistown, Bennington, Mason, Peterborough, and
Did you say Bridgewater? I mean,
No,
Brookline?
Hollis? Yeah, Hollis and Brookline. Yep.
They're kind of.
Yeah, they're right next to each other. Yep. So there's the ones I can name off the top of my head: Amherst, Antrim.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's generally Hillsborough County, right?
So how many people does that office speak to on a daily basis? How much public interaction will you have?
Well, I mean, like I said, it's banker's hours. That window is open. They have an office. I think it's on Temple Street in Nashua.
Yep.
The number of people coming in on a daily basis, that I don't know.
Where on Temple Street is that?
I'm not exactly sure. I know it's
I used to go to elementary school in Temple Street.
Okay. Nashua, by the way, is the county seat of Hillsborough County.
It is.
Yes, it is. Yeah. They also have offices in Manchester and Goffstown. I work at the Bouchard building as a court security officer upstairs of the Bouchard building. So that's a little bit about Hillsborough County.
So do you have a Facebook page that people can contact?
I do, but you gotta like boost it to get. I have it, but I don't boost it. I guess it costs money to boost it.
Yeah, and then you have to have special clearance to boost because it's a political thing.
Yeah, I'm a fiscal conservative. I'm not giving Facebook my money to boost, but I use my regular Facebook page.
Sure.
So I'm easy to find.
Do you have a website?
I don't have a website. I have my Facebook page. I got the palm cards. My phone number is 603-391-8038. Easy guy to find.
Easy guy to find.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I like to talk. That's why I like coming on. I enjoy this kind of thing.
Have you knocked on any doors at all? Or?
I haven't knocked on doors. I don't want to knock on. I've knocked on doors when I ran for alderman. Ran for alderman in Manchester, Ward 8. Mm-hmm. The guy I ran against when I first ran, Tom Katziantonis, well, he won. And I'll just say that he won. And I did knock on doors. I don't want to disturb people, especially in the primary. People they're at the beach, the lakes region.
Yeah,
I don't want to disrupt people.
I'm door knocking right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, for state senator, I would.
But you know, it's interesting because people will take the palm card. They're very polite, but most people aren't home, or they right now they just want to enjoy the rest of their summer.
They do.
But,
Summer's coming to a close, and maybe for the general.
Yeah.
General's a different story. I'm taking this one step at a time. If I'm fortunate enough.
Well, if you win the primary, you're not going to have a general.
Well, actually, I will. There'll be a Democratic nominee. It'll be whoever gets the most write-in votes. Could be me.
Oh.
Could be my wife. Could be you. Could be John L. Smith.
It will not be me.
Whoever.
I'm a Republican.
Well, but whoever gets the most write-in votes on the Democratic ticket.
Interesting.
In fact, yeah, it could be me. Could be.
Well,
I believe that's the way it works.
Are you still doing the TV show in Nashville?
No, I did it for 4 years. It's approximately 200 shows. I had a great time. And I just told Joe's been doing it forever.
Yeah.
It was time for me to move on.
He's having a good time with it.
He enjoys it.
You have all kinds of guests, all different.
We had all kinds of guests. We had mainly conservatives, but we were open to liberals.
Sure.
We threw the door wide open. And basically what we did was we said, come on the show, let's talk. Let's throw the phone lines open. We had a phone.
So it was live TV?
Oh, it was live TV, yeah. with a delay.
Right.
That only had to be used a couple times.
So you didn't have to really worry about the phone calls coming in?
Yeah, if there was anything really weird, it would have got cut off. Yeah.
That happens from time to time.
Yeah, it does.
Well,
yeah.
So, okay, again, how do people get in contact with you?
My phone number is 603-391-8038. I'm on Facebook.
Is it Ed or Edward?
Well, on the ballot, it's Edward J. Sapienza. Informally, I go by Ed, Eddie, or Hey You.
Have you seen the ballot yet?
I have.
And where are you on the ballot?
Well, it differs by town, and it differs within cities like Manchester and Nashua. It differs within the ward.
Okay.
So
there's no other Eddies running, Edwards?
No. There's Eddie Edwards,
Yeah,
who's running in this CD1.
CD1,
CD1 is Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
Fantastic guy.
Yeah, and that's Manchester.
That is Manchester CD1, Nashua CD2. I've always considered Manchester and Nashua to be kind of sister cities. They both have a similar background, manufacturing background.
Yeah.
Manchester's the largest city in the state. Nashua's the second largest city. I think they're similar in a lot of ways.
They are. Well, Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, I appreciate it, Kevin.
And I think I beat Carl as far as timing.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, folks. I hope to see you September 11th.
All right.
All right.
And that's it for today's show, and we hope that it's informative. If you're looking to vote for somebody for a Registry of Deeds, maybe Eddie is your man.
There you go.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Until next week, thanks for watching Speaking with the Senator.
Take care, folks.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.